Britney Spears went viral this week for all the wrong reasons, which is the only reason that she ever goes viral anymore these days. And of course, she's always on Instagram posting videos of herself dancing half naked or fully naked, rambling incoherently, just coming off like a very disturbed person. She recently got divorced from her husband after 12 seconds, and he claimed that she abused him. I don't know if that's true or not, but we do know that it was definitely not the first time that somebody close to her said that she is volatile and dangerous. This has been what most of the people close to her have been saying for a long time. Anyway, the video this week that went viral was her dancing with butcher knives, and she claims that the knives were fake. They very much appear not to be fake. But here, let's look at that video for a second. The dogs in the background are terrified. So there it is. I never actually even watched the video, so I didn't realize that she was dancing. What is that, Gregorian chant? Is that like a... Somehow it's even more disturbing than you originally thought with the Gregorian chant in the background. While you've got this half-naked woman dancing with butcher knives. And those knives are not fake, by the way. Those are not what fake knives look like. Those are real. So, and the cops didn't think the butcher knives were fake either, which is why they showed up at her house for a wellness check. And the cops, they were not called by fans who were concerned. They were called apparently by a friend of hers who was worried, was worried about her. And listen, it's all very sad. And it's even sadder because we're watching this woman fall apart in front of us. And it just seems very likely that in the not too distant future, she's going to do something drastic and really hurt herself or worse. And it's like it's a slow motion train wreck, and we all know that's going to happen. I think we all kind of understand she's in her early 40s now. The chance that Britney Spears turns 50 seems to be pretty low, and it's just, we all know it. So, which is why her conservatorship was in place to begin with. So once again, I was right. And I said back during the whole Free Britney movement, you may recall, and I got a lot of flack for it, a lot of flack. But I said at the time, when everybody was demanding that Britney Spears be freed from her conservatorship, and why were they demanding it? It's because they saw some documentary on FX or whatever, and most of them didn't even see the documentary. Other people saw it, and then it was trending on Twitter, and hashtag Free Britney, and so a bunch of people jumped on the bandwagon. And I said at the time, okay, people don't get conservatorships placed on them for no reason. It doesn't happen. Use your head. Stop following internet trends. Now, none of us know even like 1% of what goes on behind the scenes in anybody else's life, much less in Britney Spears' life. We don't know. But we can use our heads and we can figure out that you don't lose legal rights to make decisions over your own life for no reason. Now, of course, everyone claimed that it was a conspiracy by the people who wanted Britney's money. Okay, well, once again, use your head. There are a lot of rich celebrities out there, a lot of rich female celebrities out there who probably have people in their lives who covet their wealth, and yet they're not under conservatorships. Britney is. Why is that? Could it be because Britney very publicly had a mental breakdown and repeatedly revealed herself to be a danger to herself and those around her, including her children? Could that be it? I tried to explain this at the time. Britney, a wealthy, famous woman, lost custody and lost visitation rights. She lost visitation rights and custody over her kids in a court in Los Angeles. Do you understand how difficult that is to do? You're a woman, you're in Los Angeles, and you're rich and famous, and you lose total custody over your kids and you can't even visit them? Do you know how hard it is for a woman to pull that off, even if they're not rich and famous? Even if they're not in a Los Angeles court? Very, very hard. So you have to be a monstrously terrible mother for that to happen. You just do. Like, is there a small chance that it's all some big giant conspiracy against you? Yeah, I mean, that's anything's possible. But if you don't have if you know nothing else about someone, but you know that they're a woman who lost custody of their children, then that's 99.9% chance that this is like a bad mother doesn't even begin to describe it. And in Brittany's case, we know about some of what preceded that decision. We know, for instance, that she barricaded herself in her home with her children. She had a standoff with emergency personnel with her kids. Reportedly, she threatened to kill herself in front of them. We know about that. That was reported. That happened publicly. Okay, if that kind of thing's happening publicly, do you think it's better behind the scenes? Do you think what's happening privately is less disturbing? There's a reason, and her kids don't want to be around her right now. Again, like, if your kids, especially your sons, as they get older, don't want to be around you as a woman, pretty good chance that there's a reason for that. So you can look at these things and you can use your damned head and you can realize that obviously this woman is not competent and needs help. Or you can believe a hashtag trend. And a lot of people chose the hashtag trend. And now this woman's going to get herself killed. She's going to overdose, something like that. She's going to end up dead. And you know something? If you were screaming Free Britney, then that's going to be partly on you. It just is. And I hope you're prepared for that. It turns out that like just joining mindlessly in some internet mob, there are real world implications to that. It's not something you can just do. Like, it's not all fun and games. In whether the subject is Britney Spears or anybody else. When you jump into an internet mob without thinking straight, it's not just, I know people like to say, oh, it's Twitter, it's not the real world. No, it's the real world. This is happening in the real world. We're not dreaming it. And by the way, I fully acknowledge that this woman was screwed up by all the fame from a young age. Not just fame, but a very obviously sexualized kind of fame. I mean, how old was she when Hit Me Baby One More Time came out? She was what, like 16 or 17 or something? And all that is terrible. And her parents certainly never should have allowed that, much less should they have facilitated it and pushed it as they did. But the point is that whatever the reasons for how she turned out, like, this is who she is now, and you have to deal with who she is. If she's incompetent and she's a danger to herself and others, then that doesn't become less the case or less relevant just because there's a reason why she ended up that way. Guess what? Every bad person, every deranged person, every dangerous person, every crazy person, every incompetent person has a reason why they turned out that way. You take anyone who falls into any of those categories, and you can be pretty sure that their childhood probably wasn't great. Like, there's probably stuff that happened to them, in the past that was pretty bad. But that doesn't change the reality of the current situation. We have to deal with that reality. Before giving our dog rough greens, he was so sad and lazy. Now he actually enjoys his squeaky toys and playing fetch with his Frisbee. Our pup's days are filled with laughter, exercise, and endless fun, and so are mine. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, the founder of Rough Greens, is focused on improving the health of every dog in America. Little did I know, before I got Rough Greens, dog food is dead food. Everybody knows nutrition isn't brown, it's green. Well, let Rough Greens boost your dog food back to life. Rough Greens is a supplement that contains all the necessary vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega oils, digestive enzymes, and antioxidants that your dog needs. You don't have to go out and buy new dog food. You just sprinkle Rough Greens on their food every day. Dog owners everywhere are raving about Rough Greens. It supports healthy joints, improves bad breath, boosts energy levels, and so much more. We are what we eat, and that goes for dogs too. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black is so confident Rough Greens will improve your dog's health. He's offering my listeners a free Jumpstart trial bag so your dog can try it. A free Jumpstart trial bag can be at your door in just a few business days. Go to roughgreens.com/Matt or call 844-ROUGH-700. That's ruffgreens.com/Matt or call 844-ROUGH-700 today. And also, I have to say that if a man is judged to be a danger to his own kids, if he barricades himself in his house with them, has a standoff and all of that, nobody is going to be saying that we should be sympathetic because of how he was raised. Like, men lose custody in court all the time. They lose custody of their children all the time. It's a lot easier to do if you're a man. And in many cases, they lose custody for bad reasons, for illegitimate reasons. Sometimes they lose custody for good reasons. But you rarely hear anyone giving a damn one way or another about their upbringing. So it doesn't usually work that, including also with plenty of dysfunctional, celebrities out there who are whatever, going out and being self-destructive and all that. Usually if it's a male celebrity, nobody says, well, think about how they were raised. Think about that. No one says that. Everyone says, like, this person's a lunatic. So although the narrative is trying to make Britney Spears into some sort of victim of the patriarchy, it's actually completely the opposite. If everything's exactly the same with Britney Spears, but she's a man, no one cares. There's none of the free Britney movement. None of that happens. There's no documentary about it. Nobody cares. Everyone just assumes that she or he, in that case, is crazy, and that would be the end of it. So, the only reason that Britney was freed is because she's a woman, which ultimately, when she winds up dead, and the chances of that, again, are very high, that's what taking down the patriarchy gets you, I suppose. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.